Hello everybody and welcome back. This is Season 2 and we're starting with the first race now. Straight into it this weekend. Black Sea GP with our car, or our car, which is not brilliant, I must admit. It's not the best car on the grid, definitely again. We messed up at the end of last season. We didn't improve enough parts to really see the bonuses for the start of this season. I messed up. I didn't get my engine upgrades completed in time. I've obviously designed this year's car, and as I pointed out in the last video, I've noticed that my car hasn't got very good stats again. It hasn't got a great scope for improvability. It hasn't got a great scope for part stability, so I'm a bit concerned that this year's car isn't really a step forward from last year. I think it's probably about on par the same as last year's car, which means I could be in some trouble. You know, by the end of the season, if the opposition teams make their rapid and aggressive development plan, I could be in trouble. I could get left behind and struggle to achieve my objective, which is obviously quite aggressive this year because I had such a good result last year. My chairman thinks, hey, it's going to be a walk in the park to do it again this year and go even better. Well, having seen how things have developed now, pre-season and before this race, I'm not convinced. I reckon this season's going to be a tough battle. And to be honest, it's now making me think about my long-term plans. Obviously, I was hoping this season I would be, you know, a good contender, and then third season I'd be challenging for the championship. I don't see me being able to do that because my car just hasn't developed enough. It hasn't improved enough. And unless I can really give it a great boost this season, unless I can really drag it up by the bootstraps, the third season I don't think I'm going to be a contender. I'm not going to be able to challenge for the title in the third season because I'm still going to be too far down on performance in all areas. You know, this season I'm going to aggressively work on engines and gearboxes and try and sort out that deficiency, and then try and improve the rest of the car, I suppose, next season. But the important thing for me right now is these first few races of the season where all the teams are struggling for reliability and what have you. I need to be getting some results early, because I am going to fall away towards the end of the season. I just know it. I just know I'm not going to be able to compete with some of these teams towards the end of the season. They're going to be able to develop parts a lot faster than me, a lot better than me. And like I say, I seem to struggle with the whole improvement of performance and reliability parts because my factory I don't have the workforce. Even at this point at the start of the season where I really need to be improving reliability on my starting parts so I don't suffer any mechanical failures, it's taking ages for my mechanics to do the work between races. And we've got a safety car. We have got a safety car. I'm going to take a gamble here, and I'm going to switch to the intermediates, because I know the rain is coming. The rain is coming in a couple of laps. So I'm going to take the chance to put the tyres on now, early. So I'm ready. And maybe steal a pit stop on the opposition driver, because they might come in and change and go back out on normal sort of slick tyres, and then they'll have to come in for a second stop to put the inters on when it rains. Whereas I won't have to do that if I'm already on the inters, and I'm not going to risk burning out the tyres because obviously we're driving around under safety car conditions at this point. So, and here comes the rain in actual fact. So we've probably timed that very well. The one time I actually get a strategy and a call right. There's going to be plenty of times when in this series, believe me, when I don't get it right, when I make horrible strategy choices and horrible decisions. And certainly in this second season, as the races go on, you will see that. Now I'm going to try and tweak the video format a little bit for this season. I'm not going to focus too much on the off the track stuff. I'm going to try and basically just get to the races and show the races in this season, because again I just feel like I'm not going to be making huge inroads because of how the car hasn't leapt up in quality between the first and second season. And I don't want to bore people with loads of episodes of me sitting on the part design screen and stuff like that. I will obviously cover the important aspects of the series and stuff, you know, things like the GMA votes and anything that greatly affects my team or my driver lineups or my staff. But pretty much every episode is going to be straight into a race situation like this. I'm not going to focus too heavily on practice because there isn't any point. If the European Racing Series does decide at some point to vote in qualifying, obviously I will cover and feature that, although I don't think it's on the agenda for this season. I don't think it's part of this season's voting options to vote on grid-based qualifying. So I think we're quite happy as we are, just carrying on. You know, I'm going to get to the races, get through, because again, it's early doors still, it's second season, you know. I'm clearly in a position where the car isn't going to build and improve as fast as I thought it would. And maybe that's something to do with custom career mode, I don't know. I know when I've played as the careers in the past using obviously the default teams, you know, teams like Predator, ZRT, etc. They do seem to improve a lot faster, whereas I wonder if the creator team mode has got some changes behind the scenes which slows down the progression, so it is a longer, more time intensive mode. You know, you're not going to get promoted in your second season. Maybe that's the case, and if, you know, I assume this series would be a long series anyway, you know, as I've got to go through basically 3 tiers of motor racing to get to the top, but obviously I may be required to play a few extra seasons in each tier because the custom team mode. We shall see. And honestly, I'll have to see how that affects me going forward as well with things like my staff and drivers, because obviously if I can't get promoted quickly, then my staff and drivers are going to want to leave because they're going to want to race and be part of teams in higher divisions. So that could really mess me up, because obviously I've got 2 fantastic drivers now, but they're not going to want to remain in the European Racing Series. So there may come a point this season where I have to get some new drivers, some worse drivers, who are happy to remain in this division for a few seasons. Same with my mechanics and my designer. You know, that could really hurt me. I can't remember what length contracts I signed everybody up to. I think my drivers run out this season. I only signed them up for 2 seasons. I think my mechanics and designer maybe have... I may have them contracted for the 3rd season, but I don't know. And that's obviously going to be an impact as well, because if suddenly I get into a position where I'm in a challenging position and then I lose my staff and my drivers, then it doesn't matter how good my car's performance is at that point. My team is going to tank hard. But I've got 1st place at the minute, which is cool. 1st place, on track. My strategy's paid off by going on the inters early. And I've actually got 1-2, so yeah. A couple of cars have crashed. That helps as well. Obviously, if another 7 cars could crash, then I'm guaranteed to hit my sponsor's objective. And that's going to be important as well. Hitting my sponsor's objectives this season to keep the money rolling in, because finances are going to get... I mean, finances are already tight, and they're already quite restricted because of how aggressive I went 1st season, and how aggressive I tried to get on my design for the car for this season. But how everything's materialised, I realise I'm going to have to be as aggressive, if not even more aggressive, with my parts design this year to make up for the shortcomings of last season. So I'm going to be spending money like it's going out of fashion. So I need to keep hitting the objectives to keep the money coming in, so I don't go too heavily into the red. But the good thing is we are doing well in this 1st opening race. It's going to stay pretty wet, so the next time we pit, I think... Oh, Lara's got some problems. Her engine and her gearbox. Again, the 2 most time-costly items. So they're the things I'm really trying to improve. I've had my design... Ever since the car design was finished, I've had my mechanics working on reliability, and I've had them working on both engines and both gearboxes. Full commitment, and they were still nowhere near getting the parts ready for this race. Absolutely nowhere near in terms of increasing the reliability. I would like to have got into this race with my engines and gearbox around 80%, but they're like 20% short on that. They only got it to about 60. That's not good enough. I was hoping, you know, I could take the engines and gearbox off of improvement after this race and then start improving the next parts, but I'm going to have to waste another cycle between races, still improving reliability on engines and gear, and not working on performance increases. That's bad. As is, I do believe, my strategy here. I'm switching on to full wets, and I don't think the track is wet enough for full wets, nor is it going to get any wetter. I have potentially messed this up. I should have put on inters again. Oh no. Well, what was I saying about strategies at the beginning of the video? Yes, I got the call right to make the pit stop under the safety car to put on inters, but I have then gone and completely messed it up by pitting for full wet tyres when I didn't need them. So all all the opposition drivers are going to have a huge pace advantage over me now, because I'm on the wrong compound. I could pit again to change the tyres, to put the correct tyres on, but then I'm going to lose time in the pits. I've probably, at this point, thrown away the chance of a 1-2 finish in this race. I can't afford to do that. In fact, I'm going to have to get aggressive with the tyre strategy now, because I've got to make up for the fact I'm on the wrong compound. The only hope I've got now is if the track starts to dry out and I can switch to slicks, and the opposition switch to another set of inters. But looking at the forecast, it's not looking good. Although again, if all the other cars retire, that will help me considerably. So the lead cars are pitting, they're going to put on another set of inters, fair enough. Cars behind me are pitting, so they're putting on another set of inters. That buys me a little bit of time. I might just be able to get away with this. I might be able to come in and put on a set of inters and still... But then, of course, everything starts to break down on the car. The brakes and the suspension. More parts that I haven't been able to even look at improving reliability on. And they're going to be really punished by me having an aggressive attack driving style. Okay. I'm going to fuel her up. I've got to repair it. I can't take a chance. It's going to be a 19-second stop. I can't avoid that. Can't avoid that. Hurt myself by putting on the wet tyres. That was my fault. That's my bad. I've got to hold my hands up to that one. We've got the part repairs going. We can go full on attack though, because we've got the fuel now, so we can run full on overtake to the end. And again, same with Lara. I'm not going to make any further repairs to her car. She's got to make it last now. For the last 6 laps of the race. Stop crying about your engine and gearbox. You're not coming in again now. Valdez has run out of fuel. How does he run out of fuel with 4 laps to go? More even. That just sounds like a very bad pit crew who haven't filled him up. So it looks like I'm going to finish, what, 3rd? Maybe not. 4th place is catching me. That's a huge rate of knots. I'm not going to keep him behind me for 3 laps. Not a chance. Although he's on worse tyres than me. Is he going to have to pit? Potentially. I'm gonna push for it. Overtake mode. Full beans on your engine. Come on, second place. Second place. Final lap. Oh, yes! The broken down car helped me out there. Second place, podium finish, first race of the season. I will take that. I got away with that. That could have been so much better if I hadn't messed up with the tyre strategy by putting on the full wets. But a second place and an 8th place is still good at this stage. Yeah, that middle stint messed me up. Messed me up big time. Okay, so we're not got anything illegal on the car. We don't have to worry about any of that. Second place podium. That's a great result. Nice trophy. Some good points in the first race. Puts us second in the league table. Good start to the season. All the social media, everybody's loving me and my team, which is great. Drivers improved probably quite a bit. They're already at full morale. Our marketability has gone through the roof because we've managed to get a podium position, which means we'll be able to attract some good sponsors. We lost money though on the race, which is probably the common theme for this season. I'm going to be losing money every race, and that's going to affect me because I'm not going to be able to make as many parts as I need to. I may just have to I'm almost thinking I might have to take like a sabbatical season where I don't promise a great deal. Who knows? We'll have to see. It's only the first race. There's 10 more races to go this season. There's plenty of time for ups and downs and swings and roundabouts. Be sure to keep watching and join me again for the next video very soon.